Hello and welcome to Ditto, Mr. Cronenberg's remote classroom. It's our first full lesson plan LP, dropping LPs today, and it's going to be about Huey P. Long. So I'll do a little introduction first, and then we'll get right into the lesson. First and foremost, my thoughts and prayers are with you right now and your families. I hope you're all well, and um, please help out your families. I'm sure you're doing it already, but please, please, please make sure you're helping out mom and dad and grandma and grandpa and anyone else that you can in these times. All right. All right, moving on. So you'll notice the set's a little different. We have a message today. Don't touch your face. If you do, sometimes it happens. I'm not going to lie. But if you do, you got some hand sanitizer, go wash your hands. You know the drill. All right, we got a flag up here, flag state of Louisiana. Okay. And then I got to get a sign that says Ditto Dat. That's going to be the name of these episodes. It's kind of up there. You can barely see it. Um, but it's there. Don't worry. Ditto is here as well. He's kind of resting up for the show at the end with the popcorn. He'll be incorporated. Oh, too cute. Too cute. He's resting up and getting ready for the end of the show with the popcorn. Now, if you fast forwarded to the popcorn, not cool. You know who you are. hmm hmm Anyways, all right. Intro to the set. So I'm gonna do a quick zoom in on this flag. Just a quick side story. First lesson of the day here. I want you to notice the three um, drops of blood. Mr. Sam, looking it up, Mr. Sam was telling me that those three drops of blood, anyways, three drops of blood actually represent um, pelicans who, when they're hungry, they eat their own flesh eating, own flesh, not someone else's, their own flesh, and then feed it to their young. And that's what those three drops of blood represent. Yeah, let that soak in for a second. Okay. All right. So things that you're going to need for today's lesson. You are going to need your notebook. Hopefully you have that. If not, something to write on, piece of paper, or just do like a Google Doc, whatever you need to do. I got this Broken and Coastal sticker from my friend Chris St. Augustine. Check out his website. Shout out Chris St. Augustine. Also, this is a really nice notebook. I'll do a product placement on this later after a little more research. Um, you're going to need oh, your packet. If you don't have your packet, get it out. Um, or I'm sorry, if you don't have it, go on Google Classroom, and all of the stuff's going to be posted on Google Classroom, so all the resources you need will be there. All right, let's keep it moving. Your Google Slides presentation, I don't think you're going to need that, but just have it up. It'll be up and ready just in case. Might be nice to have. And then you're going to need a pen or a pencil. Personally, I like to rock that Precise V5 RT in tropical colors, normally going with the blue, pink. Sometimes I go orange, green, depends on the day. And then also, this is really important, the pause button. So there's going to be multiple times throughout the lesson that you're going to need to pause and answer a question or do a turn and talk or, I mean, whatever you need to do. But there's going to be times that I'm going to tell you to pause. So when that happens, I'm going to give you an elbow bump. So it looks like this. So when that happens, press pause, give me an elbow bump, do what you're supposed to do, answer the question, turn and talk, whatever it is. Okay. Other things. So I did the intro to the set, product placement. Okay. These are some other product placements. So we got Expo markers. Once again, tropical colors preferred. Crayola colored pencils, multiple colors. This set in particular has a really unique feature in that the pencils fall out and then you have to put them back in. I've done that a lot. It's a game I play. Can't say I really enjoy it. Crayola metallic markers. Haven't used them that much yet. We'll see. We'll see how I feel about that. But what I feel really good about, this is just wow. Sharpie. We got your metallic colors. You got neon colors. You have fine tip colors. All of that was used when I made this amazing timeline, which I'm going to get into right now. So let's start off with some basic timeline knowledge. We got classic, just a classic timeline, 4-line segments. Went with 125 years, starting in 1540 all the way to 240. I would like to mention that over here, here, it was really confusing. Anyways, before 1540, like poverty point was way back, and that's what we started at the beginning of the year. Wanted to mention that. Didn't make it on this timeline. Poverty point, very important. Okay, let's get into this. So just to review, we got 1540, 1541, DeSoto discovers the Mississippi. Get attacked by that arrow. Okay, then we got, let's do that a little bit. Okay, can we do this? All right, we're going to stand up for this one. Okay, then we got LaSalle claims Louisiana for France, the Natchez Uprising, New Orleans is founded by Bienville, 1718. This is all the French era. That's why I got this flag up here. Okay, then we got the transfer. We go to Spain. So the Treaty of Fontainebleau. France cedes Louisiana to Spain. Then American Revolution. We got the Declaration of Independence, Haitian Revolution, French Revolution, French Revolution, Louisiana Purchase, 1811 Slave Uprising, Battle of New Orleans. So this is real. Oh, sorry, you can see that. Okay, so this is really where we left off. And now we're going to be jumping ahead over here, the 1927 flood and Huey P. Long. To Huey P. Long. That's what we're going to be doing today. Okay. All right. What else we got? Some things that we talked about recently were the Plessy v. Ferguson. I wanted to throw that on there. Grandma Pearl. It's Grandma Pearl, Grandpa Jaime. Grandma Pearl, born in 1909. She made it on the timeline. And Great Flood, Huey P. Long. 2013 here. Ditto was born. February 16th, Mr. Cronenberg's video and Mardi Gras for 2021. Woo! That was thrilling. Okay, so see if I can get back in. Anyways, all right, so that's the timeline. Now we're kind of caught back up and we're going to get into Huey P. Long. I'm just going to pause. Give me a pause. I need a break. All right, so at this point, hopefully you've answered all the questions. And what I'd like you to do is to just say the question, your answers out loud. I know that might feel weird right now. Or if you have someone in the room, or maybe you can, I should have mentioned this earlier, maybe you can do like a Google Hangout with someone in the class, a friend. And I just touched my face. Ah, All right, try to keep it just one. Okay. So, like I was saying, ideally you're doing a turn and talk. So I'm going to turn and talk with, sorry, that's my phone. Turn and talk with Ditto and tell him my answers. Okay. So Ditto, a time that you got something because you knew someone. Okay. So I go first. You just, okay. Um, in high school, I had some friends who worked at fast food restaurants like Jack in the Box. They don't have that here, but Jack in the Box. I think we had Burger King and I think McDonald's at one point. And we would drive around and get a bunch of free food because I knew people who worked there. Not the healthiest, but super fun. That's number one. Number two, a time that I did a favor for someone. I have a truck and I've helped people move with my truck. I'm a guy with a truck. Warning, if you get a truck, people will call you and ask, didn't, no touch, no touch. I saved myself. It was close. And uh, three, a definition for someone who is a good citizen. Um, I would say that there's a lot of different ways to answer this, especially in these times, but someone who is a good citizen is someone who is a good neighbor, who's responsible, who generally follows the law. Um, and I know a lot of times students answer paying their taxes is a good citizen. Someone who votes is a good citizen. I think especially right now, it's being a good neighbor and think your actions are in the interest of others and not yourself. Um, so that to me is what makes a good citizen. And I did not draw kingfish full disclosure, but I hope you did. So all right, that's our do now. And what did I just do? Can you see that? Can you guys see that? That's the question. That would be really cool if you could see that. I hope you can. I should probably review this. Anyways, okay. So we're not going to do guess the vocabulary, but in your notebook, get your notebook ready. I want you to write. Oh, let's see what we did here. Okay. We're going to pause. Okay. We are back. So I had to make some changes there. I think we're good now. Oh, and this technology is blowing my mind right now. So cool. Okay. All right. So I want you to write these terms in your notebooks. So first one is a populist, a person who represents ordinary people. And if I'm going too fast, just pause. Graft. This is a new term. I learned it very recently. The acquisition of money or gain or advantage by dishonest or illegal means. Nepotism. The practice among those with power or influence of favoring relatives or friends, especially by giving them jobs. Something that happens a lot in New Orleans and really the whole world. Lots of nepotism out there. Cantankerous, really fun to say. Say it again, so fun. Cantankerous. Bad tempered, argumentative, and uncooperative. That's a deep dig. You want to say that to someone. Don't say it to your siblings. You'll get in trouble. You're being cantankerous. Libel. A published false statement that is damaging to a person's reputation. A published false statement that is damaging to a person's reputation. So these terms are really important in dealing with Huey P. Long. And you'll see that a lot of the history that we're learning, which is about 100 years old, 90 years old, is super relevant to today. Huey P. Long is often compared to our current president. There's a lot of parallels that are going on there. For example, uh, claiming to be a populist, to be of the people. That's something that our current president does, and that's something that Mr. Huey P. Long did as well. All right, turn and talk. What makes someone a good citizen? Ditto. We already talked about this, but being a good neighbor, that's what we're really focusing on today. Being a good neighbor. All right, dear Mr. Cromer, please play the video now. All right, so let's see if I can do this for everybody. Oh, okay. Oh, nope. Hold on now. Hold on, Tiger. Okay. So, nope. What did he just say? That was pretty crazy, huh? I'm gonna replay that, and I'm gonna give you a chance to see if you can uh, catch what he said. If not, I'll fill you in. I'm a Huey P. Long translator. Have that man bring back some grub that he ain't got no business with, right? Because he took 9/10 of the barbecue food. He showed up. That's his analogy. He showed up and he took all the food. So, and like I said, a lot of this relates to today. He's talking about how 10% or 1% of the people have all of the wealth, and he wants to share the wealth. That's the name of the video. Okay, we'll watch a little bit more if you want to watch the rest on your own. It's really fascinating. And I also want to mention one of his skills, Huey P. Long, is that he was an incredible public speaker. And it might be funny or it sounds like silly right now as you're watching it, but he was really captivating, and people loved hearing him speak. And he had large groups of people who would come watch him speak. Those are super rich business owners. Whoa. Oh, the video is getting good. Sorry for interrupting. You know I do this all the time though. But those are Rockefeller and the other dudes you mentioned. They are super rich people who own all kinds of businesses at the time, and still today, those families still own a bunch of stuff. All right, you get the idea. That's Huey Pilon, clearly a character. Um, like I said, if you want to watch the rest of it, go ahead. If not, what I'd like you to do at this time is slide on over to this link. It's in your Google Doc, or you can just search the Kingfish Criminal. We're going to be listening to a podcast. I'm not going to stay on with you this whole time. I'm going to let you listen on your own and then check back in with you. Um, love this podcast. Also, if you're bored, there's a bunch of podcasts from here. From This Is Criminal. Shout out to This Is Criminal. Um, They recorded this about 3 years ago, April 21st. And these questions are in order. So please make sure that you restate the questions, get ahead of it, make sure that you've answered the questions um, as the video is playing. It's really important you do that. Number two is a prediction. Remember, when it's a prediction, then it's sort of like an educated guess. Make that prediction um, when they mention the autopsy. That's super important, by the way. Why there wasn't an autopsy of Huey P. Long. Okay, so I think the video is about 30 minutes. Yeah, I think it's about 30 minutes or so. Listen through. Oh my God, whoop, what happened? It's super fascinating. I'm going to listen to it right now, then I'll check back in with you. When you are done with the reading, I'll check back in with you. Okay, boom, pause. Whoop. Forgot to remind you of something before you watch the video. Although you just paused and now you're seeing this after. Whatever. Hopefully you see it. Either way, it doesn't matter. But I want to remind you that the focus question for today is, was Huey P. Long a good citizen? So now that you've listened to the podcast, or as you're listening to the podcast, keep thinking about evidence of him being a good citizen and evidence of him being a bad citizen. And remember, we want to use the vocabulary that we have. So libel, cantankerous, um, graft, nepotism, citizen. These are important words to use in our writing. So make sure you have those in your answers, especially the last part, at the very end, the writing portion. All right, we're back. I hope you enjoyed that. Super fascinating, right? Conspiracy theory. I would love to know your theory. How do you think he died? Um, some interesting notes. Actually, last year we took the eighth graders to the Capitol, and we saw the bullet holes, and we got to put our finger in the bullet holes, which was pretty cool. Um, you want my theory? I think it was the bodyguards. I think it was an accident. I think dude got punched in the face. He said that, right? He got punched by Carl Weiss, and then I think like they said, they emptied out the guns, and I think one of those did ricochet off and hit Mr. Huey P. Long. But who knows? There's so many conspiracy theories. I'd love to hear yours. Um, yes. So let's continue on. We're gonna move on. So you have your back it out. Hopefully, we're gonna do the reading now. So in just a moment, we're gonna press pause. I want you to get that reading. Mel Levitt, you know, gotta love it. Mel Levitt. I want you to read that, answer the questions, and then at the very end, you're answering this question in a paragraph or more. Was Huey P. Long a good citizen? Your personal opinion. Remember, you can't be in the middle. You're trying to persuade. You can't say he was, yes, he was a good and bad citizen. No, which of course there's truth to that. But for this academic exercise, you need to pick a side. So either he was a good citizen or a bad citizen. Use the evidence to back that up. And of course, when you do that and you put your quote, you need your in-text citation, and that will be Levitt, or do your own research. Okay, or remember, if you get a quote from Criminal, then the author. Do we have the author? Julianne Alexander? No, she did the drawing. Phoebe Judge. Phoebe Judge is the author, so you can put that in Criminal, whatever source you want to use, whatever quote you want to use. Make sure you answer that question, and do not watch the popcorn tossing, which is coming next, until you've written your paragraph. You got to earn it. Okay? So get to that. It's going to take you a little while. And when you're done, you can come back. The next thing you're going to see is Ditto going for 31 popcorns in his mouth. All right, we are back. You know what time it is. I hope you enjoyed that little display of how to make popcorn. You got to go stovetop all the way, 100% coconut oil, little salt, little pepper, some olive oil, just a little bit, not a lot. Ditto's ready. You know what's coming. So here's that popcorn right here. And he only gets one shot. So let's see how he does. There he is. You ready? You ready? Let's do this. One, two, three, 4. On your game today. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, 9. Another double. That was tough. He got 9. Not bad. He's going to get some more. Thank you for tuning in. That was Huey P. Long. And 9, you see, right? That's fine. 31 up there. Ditto will go for that again on Monday, Tuesday. I'm going to be posting about the 1927 flood. And know that at some point there'll be a focus on Huey P. Long. I'll probably be putting that out next week. So you'll get a lot more information Monday, Tuesday. Don't forget to send me some feedback. Let me know how I'm doing, or if you're having any um, struggles with the material or any questions. And have a great weekend. Bye.